Hey, what is going on, everybody? It is Tuesday night. It is 10 p.m. Joey, it's Fight Club 215. My favorite time of the week where we can let it all loose, throw the punches, throw the kicks, let it all out there. My name is Paul Spencer, of course, with my boy Joey Woods. Joey, what's going on, man? How you feeling?
Feeling good. I'm feeling good. Another great Tuesday night. It's Tuesday
Yes.
is one of my favorite days of the week. Not just for the show, but it's like the next day of your work week's officially the hump day of the week. It's the tail end of the week. So it's like Tuesday night. You got through the hard Monday and Tuesday of your week. The rest of it should be easy sailing.
Well, I like to agree with you there, Joey, but to me, hump day is every day because I don't have an agenda. I don't have a schedule anymore. So every day is when I want to
Yeah, we
wake
see
up.
you're losing your mind a little bit there in the group chat. Coming up with 17 different contraptions for your backyard. You got a waterfall coming. You got a fire pit with benches around it coming. You got everything going back
Yeah,
there.
the funny thing is, Joey, it's like, when I let my dog outside, I go in the back here and I'm like, there's a little open space there. I got to do something there. So I came up with this whole bench idea and I'm halfway done, but my car, my little sports car, it's really small. And the funny thing, I went to Lowe's and I was like, yeah, I need like 400 cinder blocks delivered so I can do a wall all the way around, build a fire pit, waterfall. Yeah, give me your address. And I give him my address. He's like, oh, we can't bring a 2-ton truck up your street. I'm like, why? He's like, you live on a mountain. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, okay. So every day I go to Lowe's, every other day, really. I became
Yeah,
pretty
right, like a
familiar with
U-Haul, like one of those U-Haul,
I'm,
like
dude, Joey, a U-Haul with like 4 skids of cinder blocks? That ain't going to work, man.
no, not an actual U-Haul, Paul. They have those ones that you attach to the back of your car.
Joey, you know my car, right?
Yeah, I don't know, a little engine that could.
Yeah, it's a huge engine, but that ain't gonna do any justice carrying that thing up my hill, Joey. But yeah, I couldn't do it. So man, I'm pretty familiar with the Lowe's people now. The girls up there at the commercial pro desk. You get more cinder blocks? Yeah, getting more cinder blocks, and I put them in the back of my car. But almost there, man. Hopefully you guys can come up. You and the family come up. We can get to the lake this year. The backyard will be ready to go. Working on a TV. Hopefully you guys come up on a Saturday night with a pay-per-view. We can sit out back, barbecue, fire pit, have the kids run around, Paisley, little Joey, have
Yeah,
them
for
run around.
sure.
We can watch the projector outside, man. So hell yeah, I'm
Yeah,
can't
for
wait.
sure, for sure. But it's always funny. Like you send us like the picture you send us, and then like what you end up with. It's like your mind just. I don't know. It's like me and you have the ADHD. So when we start a project and when we finish it, we
Yeah,
we saw a squirrel somewhere in the process there, and our
exactly.
mind went 16,000 different places at that point.
It is funny you say that, Joey. I see squirrels, I see raccoons, I see deer in my backyard, and I think that's exactly what happens. I go out there and I send you guys a pitch like, this is what I'm doing here. You wake up the next morning, it's totally different. Like,
Yeah.
you must have seen the squirrel running again.
Yeah, like you said that one thing with the waterfall. Like, anyone know how I can do this? And we're all like, we're gonna dig a trench and all this other stuff. We're like, yeah, I don't know about that then.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. You know where my fire pit's at? Where the grill's at, I think I'm just going to put a fire pit, not a fire pit, but I'm going to surround my grill in first. And then I'm going to get a pit, put a bucket down, like a tote, drill a tote down the lid, run a thing up there and have like a little waterfall. I don't know, Joey. Hell, tomorrow I might have a pool in the backyard. I
Yeah.
don't even know.
Well, I mean,
Who
for people
knows?
that don't know Paul, he lived, he used to live in a little row home with a little tiny patio area.
A 10 by 10
My man,
patio.
my man decked out this patio, gazebo, a six person table set. He went all out for this.
You remember that, don't you?
Yeah, you built it up. I remember that. You built it up a little bit too, right? Like a
You
couple
remember the
steps up.
6 foot statue I had in the front yard?
I don't remember that.
We put it in there. It was a 6 foot statue of St. Anthony.
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah, with the garden area where the little retaining wall was, where the gazebo was, we
Yeah,
had a step up, and we had the fence on there too that I put
yeah,
up, and it was like all enclosed. And she wanted a statue, and I was like, okay. So me and Shane are carrying this statue up. We're putting it out there, and this son of a bitch weighed like 500 pounds, Joey, and we're
I'm sure
putting
your
it in
neighbor
there.
looking like, what the hell are they
Yeah,
doing
and
right
the
now?
funny thing is, like Joe, the neighborhood we were in is kind of bad. You know that.
Yeah,
One of the people actually tried stealing it when we were sitting on the patio. So I had to take this thing out and put like 2 feet of concrete on its feet. So this
yeah,
thing weighed like 1,000 pounds. But yeah, listen, when you come from a 10 by 10 front yard and a 15 by 20 backyard and you got an acre, dude,
yeah.
your mind wanders. It really does, Joey. Like 6 bedrooms and every day I'm changing the bedrooms around. I got a
Yeah.
gym. I got the podcast studio. I got a movie theater. I got a game
I remember
library.
when you set up your game room, the theater room. You bought that all those plywood, and you were making the big screen. Like, what is this dude up to now?
Joey,
You were
yes,
sending us the pictures.
it's so funny. When I did that, I built it in the garage, and I had to take the damn thing apart. It was too big to get through the house, even downstairs in my movie theater room. But when I was building it, it was so funny. My neighbors are like looking outside. It's like my neighbors are across the street, across, and then down the hill.
Yeah.
And then all of them were out the windows. And I don't have good vision, but I'm sitting there looking like they're all looking at me. They're all
Yeah.
looking
Like,
at me.
what is this
And
crazy?
I'm carrying this 13-foot screen all the way around back, like holding it up like this, like waving it. And they're like, what is he doing? I'm like, it's a TV.
You just needed one big gust of wind. It would just took.
Oh, I was flying. I would have been like the dude flying, like sailing through the air,
Oh,
you
that would
know.
have been
But
great, right off the side of the
but
mountain.
yeah, man. But Joey, before we get into it, man, we usually end the show talking about this, but what's going on with Disney, man?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Um, some pretty good deals coming out now. Any Disney Visa card holder, they just put out some pretty good deals coming up.
Okay.
Uh, sometime in June 2024 dates will be released. So
Mm-hmm.
anyone thinking about maybe going to Disney in
Okay.
2024, keep June in mind. It's always good to lock in a date that works for you, and then if that doesn't work, you can always change it. But get
Gotcha.
those dates locked in. It only costs $200 to lock it in. The rest isn't due until 30 days before.
All
People
right.
always say, "Does Disney have a payment plan?" And I always tell them yes, but they don't. But here's why I say yes. You put $200 down. You use me as your travel agent. You can
Mm-hmm.
message me every single Friday. I want to pay $100 towards my trip, and I'll put
Mm.
$100 down towards your trip. So they don't offer a payment plan, but you can definitely do a payment plan. So
Okay.
if it's something that might work for you, people always think, "Oh, Disney's too expensive." Listen, for people that are in the Philadelphia area, I promise you, I can get you to Disney cheaper than a week in Wildwood.
Wow. And
Yeah, for
being
sure.
from Philadelphia and taking those trips down to Morey Pier and all that stuff, dude, you had to work a second and third job for some of those weekends, brother.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the big. People don't realize how expensive. Like, vacation across the board is expensive.
it
Like,
is.
someone I know is right now is in like Great Wolf Lodge,
Okay.
and I was like, damn, they got Great Wolf Lodge money because Great Wolf Lodge is
Expensive.
almost more money than Disney for a
Mm-hmm.
weekend. I'm like, they got Great Wolf Lodge money. It's like people don't realize the price it costs to go on vacation. So you get this price there, you're like, oh, that's a lot of money, but that's your hotel and ticket to get into the park.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not a lot of money when you think about it like that, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, hit me up if you think about going to Disney. I can, even if you're on the fence and you don't know, hit me up and I can just get a quote for you. It's free. It doesn't cost you
Yeah,
anything.
definitely. I mean, I'm a witness to it. My niece went down there, and we wanted to send her down there, and we looked at plane prices, versus that. We looked at airfare, of course. We looked at lodging tickets down there, and we were like, I don't know if we can do this. Well, we reached out to Joey, and well, she brought back a lot of souvenirs, which I was kind of happy because there was a lot of money left over, from Joey
Yeah.
saving her too. So give Joey a call. Once again, we're going to put the banner up here. This is actually his cell phone number, 215-820-3644. Give him a call. Joseph Wood, Mr. M, House of Travel. He's a licensed agent now. Give him a call. He will not steer you the wrong way. Disney don't pay him. Mr. M pays him. So he ain't making any money at all from Disney. So he's going to give you the best rate possible. So give him a call, 100%.
Yeah, for sure,
100%.
for sure. And
100%.
last thing before we start our show today, you get a lot of these sales travel because travel agents are pretty much sales agents. We're out there trying to make a sale, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times you got these people who always want to upcharge, make their commission as
Uh-huh.
high. Whenever I see those cups, I lose my mind because
Joey, speaking of cups, where did we get this from?
backstory. We were
Mm.
one of our gracious sponsors of our
Mm-hmm.
shows gifted me and Paul some tickets
And
to
that is
hit.
Jay Fine Law. If you have any injuries out there, give him a call, 1-800-HURT-123. Tell him Paul and Joey from Out of the Box sent you. Guarantee. Actually, I'm meeting him tomorrow anyway in Philadelphia.
Are you really? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so he gave us tickets to front row for the Flyers game, and we got all you could eat and drink. So it was Paul's goal to get as many cups as he could throughout the night. And his spiel, because if everyone knows Paul, Paul likes to tell everyone, "Oh, you still got it." Paul likes to tell everyone stories. Paul told everyone at the bar that he was collecting them for Christmas gifts for his family. So that's the backstory on Paul with these cups.
Do you remember how many I walked away with, Joey?
I do. They were stacked pretty high, and then Paul realized early on they didn't stack as nice and neat as he wanted them to. He thought they were going to
No, they
stack nice and
didn't.
neat, and they were just going to slide right in. No, they sat on top of each other.
I walked away with 9 of them that night.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. But hey, listen, if you're my friend out there and you get a Christmas present, a Flyers Flyers cup, Joey just gave it away. So
I
hopefully
think
you're
those
not
dudes
listening.
behind us, Paul, that night gave me COVID. The ones that were in our grill the entire time.
Oh, they were drunk, weren't they?
Yeah, remember them? I think they ended
But
up
hell, the
getting
good thing is
COVID.
they didn't pay for one beer that night, did they?
Yeah, that's true. I think they would have sold us a couple bucks at the end of the night. You know, all the
That's what I was
fucking
thinking. Like
drinks
they're
or
going to
whatever.
tip us like $20 here. Hell, we feed them what the chicken strips, all that crap, burgers, and
Crab
everything.
fries.
Yeah,
Got them like 6 beers each.
yeah, man. God, they ate more than we did, Joey. But that was a hell
Yeah,
of a night out. That was a hell of a night, man. Oh,
yeah, it
hell of a
was.
night. We got to do that again, man. Hopefully, Jason, if you're listening out there, hit us up again, okay? Hit us
Yeah,
up.
but this time we're ready to trust the process, Paul. So,
Yeah, nothing better behind sitting behind Mr. Spector on there in the front row. Well, that's where he
yeah,
sits,
for
right
sure.
behind him. So,
I
yeah,
don't
maybe
know
we
that.
can
I
get
don't know
out.
if I'd be able to do it. I might tell him like, sit the fuck down.
That's like me, Joe. I think at a basketball game, I think I get more hype because I'm court side. You know what I mean? Like, then
Yeah,
I'm
but like
more into.
we're talking about us with Squirrel's ADHD. You see him during the games, he's ADHD to the T. I might be
Yeah,
screaming at him like, sit down, bro.
I know, man. I don't know if we could do that with our ADHD. Like we're like the poster childs of ADHD, and you know that, Joey. Like I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie to you. Here's my Adderall right there, and I'm not gonna lie. I take Adderall. Shit, I'm not gonna lie. I take it. I take 60 million. There's nothing to hide with me. But Joey, I got real quick, man. I got a question for you. How the hell is 286 this weekend? I thought like 285 felt like it was last weekend to me.
it was. It was 2 weekends ago. You
That's what I
think?
mean.
I don't know because typically we're getting one pay-per-view a month.
Right.
285 was March 4th.
That's what I mean. I thought about. I was trying to think, Joe. Like my mind wanders with the squirrels and everything. But I'm sitting here like, okay, I know February was a 28
And
28
then
day month,
the
but
next one, Paul, is April 8th.
so we're basically getting 3 in 30 days.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I'm wondering if we're doing these a lot really fast for the simple fact that
What's the reasoning?
they're counting ahead to 300 and they know
Oh, so they want a New
300
Year's Eve. They want a New Year's Eve or something, huh?
or something like that where 300 happens during a major event because
Okay.
you think
Well, let's think about it. Okay, we're at 286 now, right? And we're in March, right?
286, right? 287 is April.
April, May, June, July, August, September, November, December. So that's 7 left, Joey. That puts us at 93, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have to come up with 7 more events
And that works out
11
perfectly
months.
for them, Paul, because you think about it. International Fight Week
Okay.
is usually the middle of July.
Okay. Okay.
So July of 2024 will be International Fight Week, and they can have UFC 300.
Wow. So you think that's the reasoning behind why we're getting like at least 2 a month now, right?
I think it could be. I think they're trying to speed it up a little bit to get to that point.
But the only downfall to that, Joey, listen, these cards coming up. I mean, last week's card was insane. 2 weeks ago, of course. This card here, Usman Edwards rematch here. We're waiting for that. What's 287, Joey? Offhand, I didn't even look at it yet.
That's it's a good one. It's
That's Oliveira's on there. I know that, right?
Izzy. That's 88. Oliveira is 88.
Holy crap! Okay,
Izzy.
and
Izzy
Pierre again. And Pierre. Oh wow. Okay. So do you think doing all this, Joey, like constantly giving us 2 a month?
At this point, Paul, like before, UFC would have to absolutely stack the cards, because most of their champs weren't
Right.
big enough people to kind of
Hold
be
the card by
standalone.
themselves. Yeah.
But at this point, I feel like their champions are big enough to be able to
headline a card.
Headline a card.
Okay. Because that's what I was going to ask you. Like, since we're doing like 2 a month now to get to that point, do you think we're ever going to run out of headlining fighters to take that card to another level?
Well, the 2 a month stops after this month. They'll go back to
You said it was in July, International Fight Week, right?
yeah. So that would be
All
what
right, so April, May, June. So that's no, Joey. Well, no, because it's only going to be we're at 286 now. 287 is in April.
April.
So you really need three. Really need four within the next 3 months. You need a lot more than that.
What about July 2024, Paul?
Oh, okay. Yeah, shit. What am I thinking? That damn
Yeah.
squirrel just ran by me again, Joe. I seen a squirrel just run right by
You
me again.
think April, May, June. So that's 3 plus 12 is
All right, so this
14.
would be the last month, yeah, because you
That
need,
puts you there.
yeah. All right, so you need really 13 more after this one here. This is 286, 14 more within what, 7, 11.
Yeah, so that puts you there because you think you need
Yeah.
like from now until then there's 15 months,
Okay, you're right. Yeah.
and
Okay.
there's about 14 pay-per-views. So they're that puts them right on target.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
So, real quick before we get into the show, Joey, what are we looking at UFC 300, Joey? What are we looking at? What is the headliner?
Oh,
What's the headliner, Joey?
oh,
Looking into the future, I know we can't predict it. What is the headliner at UFC 300?
you gotta think, and this is just going out in left field here, but
McGregor?
no, not the head. McGregor's co-main event.
I'm just making sure, Joey, you weren't going to throw that at me.
The main event, and this is going to be a shocker.
Nagano.
Is the two biggest draws from the heavyweight ever. John Jones versus Brock Lesnar.
You really think Brock is coming back?
I don't think he's coming back, but if you're talking about the biggest fight you can possibly make, name a fight that's bigger. That's someone that can actually fight.
Nagano.
No, he's never coming back, Paul.
That's just like saying Brock Lesnar's going to come back.
Nagano's not bigger than Brock.
I think that's what people want to see right now because that's the fight that people really want to talk about is Nagano versus
You go up
John
to
Jones.
a casual. You go up to a casual on the street, right?
Mm-hmm.
You said you know John Jones.
Of course he knows John Jones.
Most of the casuals will say they know John Jones. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You go up to a casual and say, "Do you know Brock Lesnar?" I guarantee you, 10 out of 10 casuals will say they know Brock Lesnar. Now go up to them and ask if they know Nagano. I guarantee you it's about 50%.
True. Yeah, Brock Lesnar is the biggest draw. Name-wise, he is a heavyweight. Yeah, I agree with that.
Like, thinking about it, what other fight, maybe unless you can get Khabib back, and you do Khabib McGregor too, there's not many fights out there that would top John Jones versus Brock Lesnar.
Wow, that would be kind of crazy though. I mean, that's looking to the future. 14 months away, 16 months away. But wow, that would be insane. Wow.
I mean,
where would you have this fight? Where would you have this fight? MSG, Abu Dhabi. Where would you have it? T-Mobile.
You got to do either T-Mobile,
AT&T Stadium, dude. Yeah.
No, it has to be in Vegas.
T-Mobile,
or do Allegiant
Stadium.
Allegiant Stadium.
That would be better. I think that would be better. I think that's the capacity.
If you're doing 300, it's kind of an anniversary show. It's kind of a tribute to the past. There's two places that I would have it that are going to be a little weird. First one is Denver.
Why?
That's because the first, I think, 1 through 10 UFCs, before they were able to be sanctioned by any other place in the world, Denver, Colorado was the only place that would allow them to play. So I would maybe Denver, just like a homage, to your past. When I think it was Jim Brown. Jim Brown and Joe Rogan were the two commentators.
Jim Brown? That's really?
I believe so. Now let me look it up real fast.
That's going. Oh my crap, Jim Brown? Wow, Jim Brown. Holy shit. And where was the second place you would say, Joey?
Yeah, Jim Brown was a UFC commentator.
That's craziness. That's crazy. That's like a trivia question.
UFC event.
That's
it was Jim Brown and Joe Rogan.
Wow. Damn, you look at these names, like Joe Rogan is a pioneer of UFC, man. Yeah, I mean, you think about it, Joey, as commentators, Joe Rogan
Rogan wasn't even a commentator, Paul. Joe Rogan was like an in-ring personality who would like come in and like interview people.
That's when he was all Fear Factor. Remember that show, Fear Factor?
Well, I think this was actually before Fear Factor.
What? Wow. Yeah, you're right. Could have been.
Because UFC 1 was 1993.
Yeah, it's definitely before.
That was before Fear Factor.
Yeah, I remember watching it with the kids, and it had to be like maybe 2000s, Joey. Honestly,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. That
So
gets
it
crazy
was
now.
definitely
Holy shit! Wow.
before then.
Okay. What would your second place be? Since Denver is basically the pioneer of UFC arenas,
MGM, MGM Grand.
the MGM is not that big, Joe. You're not going to
It's
have the
not that big,
capacity.
but again, I'm talking about looking at paying
Okay.
homage.
What is the Spear at? Is the Spear a venue? Was they're building a new Spear in Vegas? I heard.
That's not a. It's like a weird moon. It's so I
Oh, is
don't
that
know
what it
what
is?
it's.
Oh, all right,
Yeah,
all right.
but the reason I say MGM again is to pay homage because you think about some of the biggest events, MGM Grand, and the Mandalay Bay Arena were
Mandalay.
two of the.
I relate Mandalay Bay to boxing. That's what I
Yeah,
relate to. I relate to Mandalay Bay to boxing. Is what I do.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But you talk about two historic arenas for
Okay.
the events.
Well, you know what? Then have the press conference at MGM, okay, or Caesars, because Caesars is affiliated with boxing as well. Have it at the MGM Grand there, the press
The
conference.
MGM
All of that.
Grand is the number one venue that hosts sports UFC events with 43 events.
But what's the capacity compared to like an Allegiant or T-Mobile, Joey? I mean, you're talking UFC 300, so you have to be
Touch Allegiant.
that'd be huge, huh?
Definitely touch Allegiant, but it doesn't touch Allegiant in terms of
Right, right.
people.
You're talking NFL
But
stadium versus a concert stadium.
it probably comes close to uh, T-Mobile.
Okay, okay. All right, we can do that.
I'm gonna
So we'll
refresh.
have it.
I'm still having a couple seconds behind. I'm gonna
All right,
refresh.
sounds good. All right, no problem. All right, guys. While Joey refreshes real quick, he's got to get his thoughts there and his computer going. But if you're out there listening, we're going to put a Twitter question out there. UFC 300. We're looking at International Fight Week in July of 2024. Where do you guys think that you guys would put Joey? I'm going to run a Twitter poll out there. Where do you think UFC 300 should be taken at? MGM, Allegiant, Abu Dhabi, MSG. Where do they want to put it out there? And we'll talk about the results next week. We come
See,
back.
just to be spiteful, I
Mhm.
would not put it at MSG for the simple fact that
It's the
the
Mecca,
US
Joey. It's the
yeah,
Mecca.
but MMA as a sport overall had a fight and claw for years, begging and campaigning and po- playing political sides to be able to get MMA sanctioned in
Yeah,
New
in
York.
the state of New York, right? Yeah.
They don't these. And I'm not saying they don't deserve it, but they don't deserve it. They don't deserve that. The city of New York, the amount of because think about this, Paul. UFC 300 is going to bring fans from all over the world.
Sure.
You could probably have what they usually do on International Fight Week is they'll have event Friday night
Mm-hmm.
or Thursday night. They'll do Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
back to back to back event. So they'll pay-per-view Sunday and then like the Ultimate Fighter. Like typically what they'll do is they'll have the Ultimate Fighter coaches. Like for example, typically Connor's gonna fight July versus Chandler because they'll do the Ultimate Fighter finale Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
Then they'll have like a televised event Friday night, like a UFC on ESPN
Right, right.
Saturday night.
Yeah,
So
something
Friday
all
night.
the viewers can get it into. Yeah.
And then they'll have the pay-per-view on Saturday. So that way they have people from all around. Because
Mm-hmm.
I was there one year when it was fight week and they had a fight Thursday night, then they had Alvarez fighting Friday night, and then they had McGregor fighting Saturday night. So it's like back to back to back.
All right, so
But
it's a 3-day event, pretty much exactly what it is.
yeah, but then even during the days, like they have like almost like Comic-Con for UFC. Like
Oh wow.
like big convention center in Vegas with meet and greets with all the fighters. They have like different like fighting companies like gear and stuff come there and you can sample gear, you can buy merchandise. Like, it's like a big almost Comic-Con for the UFC. It's a huge thing that would bring a lot of money to whatever city was ended up hosting it. I don't think the city of New York deserves that after
No.
pushing them down for so long.
Joey, get off subject here. We were talking that this year probably going to be married this year, and we thought about Vegas, as we all know. And I think I might push this off till 2024 in July then. There's a reason to this madness out there. Hey, listen, get married, go to the UFC event. Have a 3-day weekend watching my favorite sport, UFC. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, or if you want to do it this year, you can go this July, and we already know it's July 7th to the 9th.
Yeah, that's a good thing too. Hell, listen, that could be an out of the box. I mean, I do need witnesses out there, right? So maybe you can tell Alexis that I need a witness out there, and I need someone I've known for over damn 30 years. Almost 30 years now, Joey. Well, not 30 years, but at least 20, 20,
Yeah,
20 some
don't say
years.
don't be adding years to my life,
Look,
bro. I'm
man, when you
only
get my age, man, when you get my age, squirrels run around outside. We don't see them. Old age kicks you, Joey. You add on 10 years to everything you talk about. So,
yeah,
hell.
I'm only
But
28.
all right, so I've known you since you were 5 years old, Joey. Okay, 5 years. So I've known you 23 years. Hey, what's going on, Dave? Just got back from the Flyers game. What's going on? I could definitely tell you one thing. I didn't watch the game, but I know the Flyers probably lost, right?
Did they win or lose, Dave?
I know they were down 3-1 when we were doing the college show, I think he said. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
But
and
hey,
now
man,
we got this latest news is bullshit that one of the few building blocks of the team won't be with us past this season.
who?
Carter Hart.
Why? I don't follow hockey that much. Why?
They
What
made
happened?
him. They pretty much let it be known that he's available for via trade.
No, lost time. Really, Carter Hunt? I
High
thought he was.
scoring
I thought
game.
he was like this the franchise face of the Flyers, Joey.
That's what I thought, but
That's why you thought, yeah.
supposedly he's not willing to stick around for a rebuild. So they said, okay, well then, peace out.
I mean, he's still young. I mean, you can bounce out somewhere else and still be a face out there, to another upcoming team that's just needs a piece. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, for
goalies are a
sure.
dime a dozen, but yeah, Joey. Well, you know what? Listen, let's get into this, Joey. Let's get into this, man.
Yeah, let's start with last week and then we'll move
Oh,
forward to next week. But this was an absolute clinic that we saw
yeah,
on
yeah,
Saturday night. Well, it was like Saturday afternoonish,
yeah.
Saturday.
It's kind of weird time. Yeah, it's kind of a weird timing thing.
Yeah, so I mean, this was an just
Yeah.
absolute clinic. That I mean, he broke the record, and I forget the exact number, but takedown attempts in a fight against Jan. Like his nickname is the Machine, and this man is an absolute machine. Just the clinic
Joey,
he
just
put
real
on.
quick, I remember watching this. I exactly what you said. Takedowns, Joey. How many takedowns in do you think this guy had, Joey? I'm
It was
looking at it
over
now.
36.
Joey, let's talk almost 50. 49 attempted
I think
takedowns,
it was
Joey.
48 broke the record.
49 attempted takedowns, Joey.
Yeah, and it was the thing was is like a lot of these takedowns we knew weren't gonna land.
Right, he
It
landed
was
11 of them. It was 11 out of 49.
yeah, and that's okay, and it helped him because here's the thing: Jan on the feet is very hard to beat. Jan
Yeah.
on the feet is he knew that he was not going to beat Jan in a straight just stand up battle, so he had to
Mm-hmm.
continue to switch positions,
Agree.
keep switching the levels and shooting for level changes, which he did a lot in this fight, to keep Jan second guessing. And some of those maneuvers that Jan wanted to hit, he wasn't able to because he had to keep thinking in the back of his mind. Was he going to shoot for a takedown? Was he going to shoot for a takedown? Let's hear this thing. The machine wasn't shooting to take him down. He was shooting to keep him guessing.
Mm-hmm.
But if Jan went for a kick and the machine took one for a takedown, he would have took the takedown easily, and he wouldn't have like just tried to ride him, which he did most of the fight.
Right.
And that was in the back of Jan's mind the entire time. Um, if I throw this kick, he's gonna shoot and take me down easily. So it was definitely a great game plan across the board. Let's give his coaching staff
Yeah,
credit
100%.
because they went in there with a great game plan and the fighters stuck to it, which is another good thing. Let's talk about Gas Tank. I mean, this man took 49 takedowns and he still looked fresher
Yeah.
than Pittsburgh. Like he could go another 3 rounds. Like this
And
man
yeah.
is an animal. The
That's
only
the
thing I
funny
don't,
thing is that's the funny thing, Joey. You talk about 49 takedowns. We've seen fights, Joey, where you don't get in a 5 round fight, you don't get five down attempts in the whole fight, and these guys look gassed. The motor that this guy has is like opening round to the fifth, the third round to the fifth round, whatever fight he has in this fight here. The machine is an understatement of what you wrote there, Joey. It's an
yeah,
understatement to his motor. God.
yeah. And here's the only negative out of the whole thing is him and Aljo are consider each other family.
Mm-hmm.
They train together. They're very close.
Yeah.
he's let it known after this fight because after dismantling Jan, the man who held the division
Yeah.
ransom for
Mhm.
a couple years there, he he's coming up to, if not next, one of the next in line for a title shot, and he's
Mhm.
already let it known that if Aljo's champion, he won't be fighting for the belt because they're family. So
Joey, well,
unfortunately,
let me ask you, Joey, real quick. Let me flip that real quick. If I'm the champion, Joey, okay, and we train together, we are considered family, which we are considered family, Joey. I consider you my family as well. And if I'm the champion and you're next in line, and I am the champion, and you're the number one contender, you ducking me, Joey, or not?
it's hard to say right now because
Hmm.
we got to talk about the
I love
money.
you too, Joey. I love you too. I understand, brother.
But no, it's like we know each other forever, but like these guys practically live with each other. You know, like you think about the amount
Yeah.
of time they spend in the gym training with each other. Like it's different for them.
Well, so
Like
you're
they
saying all the times that we had at the football field, like that wasn't like what these guys have, Joey? Like, come on, man.
it's way more. I think, Paul. You
I
think about
know.
it.
Okay.
They're probably putting 12 hours a day in the gym
Oh,
together.
easily, easily. You get up in the morning, you're side by side, next room over, whatever. You're going to the gym 24/7. It's different, yeah, different.
You're sweating together. You're bleeding together. You know,
Yeah,
you're going through. You kind of came up together. You know, and at this point,
agree.
it's like you don't want, you always say this is, and you always can say, oh, it's just a fight, like don't let this come between you, but it's a fight. It probably would come between you, at
Yeah,
the
you're
end,
right.
all
You're
said
right.
and done. And the best part is it's like you got all these like Dana White and stuff like that saying like it's not smart to say that and all this stuff. Then you have like the media guys like ESPN, like I'm not sure if you know Ariel Hawaii.
Yeah, yeah. He does a
He's
podcast thing. Yeah.
he's the biggest MMA media guy in the world.
Hmm.
He had him on the show, and he was like, "Don't let them talk you down from this. He's your brother, and that's it. Don't let them
Wow.
throw any amount of money." But here's the thing: like right now, I would say no, I wouldn't fight you for the belt. But at the same time, like me and you, if they caught throw $3 million, that's life changing money for us. Like that's money that
That's what I wanted to ask you. Like, listen, this is what the people want to see. I'm champ. You're number one, regardless of family, virtual, values or whatever. Everything to me has a price tag, Joey.
yeah. Here's the thing: I'm not trying to like throw shade or anything, but $3 million would help my family here, would help my children, would help my wife. It's
Hmm.
life changing. So at the same time, I get family in terms of brothers like that, but at the
Right,
same
right.
time, I don't know if he has kids or a wife or something like that. But you got to think about your family at home. Not saying you're
Hmm.
probably not making good money now, co-main event and stuff like that, but
Right.
if they're throwing life changing money at you, got to think about your family. Forget this generation. 3 million, 4 million, $5 million could be
Future down the line.
generational money
Hmm.
that could help your family forever. So
Yeah.
I think this guy seems like he's very rooted in his values.
Yeah.
He's not an American, so he's not. I mean, not saying American are more money hungry than anyone else, but money drives us a lot more than a lot of other
It's very true.
religions and a lot of other cultures. A lot of these other cultures, like money is important, but it's not the only thing. It doesn't
Yeah,
drive them,
I
and I
agree with
think
that.
that's what we have with him. So I don't think he'll ever give into that. But listen, two pay-per-views from now, 288, we're getting Aljo versus Cejudo. It was made official today. It was
Okay.
in Newark, New Jersey. I don't think Aljo holds the belt past that fight, so we don't
I
have to
don't
talk about
either. I don't either. I don't even.
we
Yeah,
won't
I was gonna say that. Yeah, I don't think he. I think he gets beat there, and it's just a clean run for the machine up there. So that is going to be out of his head. That instinct of I still have to fight him. I'm going to fight
Now
him.
it's revenge. Now it's
It's
revenge for
exactly,
your brother.
exactly. Now you took out my brother. Reminds me of that old movie Bloodsport. Joe, you ever seen that with
That's the
Jean
one
Claude Van Damme?
yeah, Van Damme.
Yeah, where he took out Dukes. No, Dukes was him. He took out the guy with the curly hair that played in whatever the movie was. Broke his arm, took his bandana, and John Cleveland, like my brother, went back and beat the hell out of Bull
Yeah,
Young. Exactly what it is, and that reminds me of this one. And I think it's like a storybook edition where your family, my brother got beat. Now it's time to take out you for my brother, his name,
yeah,
because
for
I can see
sure.
him. I can see him winning and giving him so much credit after the win.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Definitely.
And I think I don't know, I'm just I respect it. I respect that you respect this man enough
That much,
to
yeah, yeah.
not want to risk your
Mhm.
friendship for the belt. But at the same time, if I was in that situation, I'm probably doing it because that's the type of money that that changes shit, you know. So
Yeah, I would definitely take it. I mean, listen, we'll be brothers at the end of the fight, best friends at the end of the fight. But hey, listen, I'll take you out to dinner, and maybe I'll give you. I can't say I'll give you money, some of my purse, but
here's the
there's
thing, Paul. Like if it was me in that situation, like if and I don't know again, I don't know if he has family stuff like that. But if you're brother, much as brothers as you say you are, and this is life
yeah.
changing
I think I
money
know
in
where
a
you're going.
fight,
Yeah.
you should understand that you have to take the fight in order to
Hmm.
change your family's life. And if you're mad at me for accepting that fight to help my family's sake, then were we actually brothers to begin with?
Exactly. That's the thing. Like, listen, if my door is always open. If you lose your house, you lose anything, you come live with me. Very simple. Well, I got a family to take care of too, and you're going to accept the fight. Well, I can't get over that. Well, man, then was he bullshitting when he said my door is open for you?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the way I look at it. Like brothers are meant for, we're not blood relatives, but to me, we're family in different ways. You know what I mean? And I couldn't accept that. If you took the fight, I would be like, okay, best man wins no matter what. We're both getting paid for different reasons here, so let's just do it. Let's just have it out. Not a problem.
Yeah, yeah,
But I don't, like
exactly.
you said, I don't think we have to worry about it after 288, Joey. I don't have to worry about it. It's
Yeah,
not
I
going
don't
to
think
happen
so.
anyway.
I don't think. I think
Unless
after
unless
that,
unless unless he wins, you never know. Who knows? Anything can happen in UFC. We
yeah.
know
I
that.
mean, ring rust is real, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. So, I mean, how long do you think Devachilla is going to be not the champion, Joey? When are you going to give him credit to be the champion here? When is he going to be the champ?
um, it's so hard to say because at the top of that division is
Who's ahead
like
of him, real quick? Yeah, I didn't even look. Who's ahead of him?
so the top of that division you got he actually jumped to one after his last
Oh,
fight.
I didn't think he jumped that far. I didn't think he jumped to one. Wow,
But at the top
wow.
five is Corey Stanhagen, who has fought everyone in the top tough. He's an
Right, he's
absolute
top to
stud.
bottom. Right, he's already went through the division.
Peter Yan, who's champion
Okay.
for the division forever.
Hmm.
Chico Vera, who is an excellent fighter. Is the last time that Sean O'Malley lost, he lost to Chico. Then
Right.
you got Sean O'Malley. Then you got the Machine. I, it's if Aljo loses,
Mhm.
and I think if he loses convincingly and it's not a close fight,
Yeah.
um, I don't think they run back Cejudo and Aljo. I think you could see the Machine versus Cejudo.
I can see that as well. I can see that. I mean, you just beat Jan convincingly. So listen, yeah, wow, that's kind of interesting though. You think about it.
And then the
Huh.
division kind of clears itself up a little bit because then you got Vera versus Sanhagen on
Mhm.
March 25th,
Right, right.
which would prove to you if Vera is a true title challenger. If he wins that fight, I think he actually jumps O'Malley, just considering that he was O'Malley's last
Loss.
loss.
Yeah. Hmm.
Because O'Malley hasn't fought since October 22nd.
It's been a while since not hearing his name in a pay per view.
Yeah, so and I haven't heard anything announced for him recently.
Hmm.
So you would think that O'Malley's kind of losing ground. I think O'Malley felt after beating Jan that he was next in line for a title. But it wasn't a it was a good win. I mean, you beat Jan, but it wasn't a definitive win. You know, a lot of people left their heads scratching like, I don't
Yeah.
know if O'Malley won that fight.
Well,
So
we talked about that. You remember that?
yeah, like I don't know if he won that fight. So if Vera beats Sanhagen convincingly, I think the only logical thing to do is you let the Machine fight. If Cejudo wins the belt for the belt, Sterling will probably take a little bit of a hiatus after losing the belt. Then you would have O'Malley versus Vera, depending upon how much damage Vera took, and that would be deciding upon who would then fight the winner of Cejudo and the Machine. I think that's how it plays out. That's how it
Okay.
should play out.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Okay.
if Vera wins, if Sterling loses, if
You think
Sterling
You think
wins,
Sterling's going to lose?
Aljo's losing the Cejudo.
Okay.
So
Okay.
if Sterling wins and he beats Cejudo, I think they
I'm just
do
trying to throw. I'm just
O'Malley.
trying to throw a curveball off there, Joe.
Yeah, no, I think if Sterling wins, I think you get O'Malley Sterling next, no doubt about it.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Because the Machine's not going to fight him. You then go next in line. It's
Right.
O'Malley. It's only right. But
Okay.
lot to be questioned in that division. A lot to be left to be answered.
Okay.
Um, I know we were gonna schedule to talk about all these fights coming up at the next pay per view, but that main event has so much to talk about. You want to just jump to that
Yeah, let's just jump to that one because listen,
and
I
see how much
mean,
time we have left afterwards?
Joey, we've been waiting for this. We've been waiting for this for a while, Joey. Okay. I mean, when you think of this fight,
Gives me, as a
Joey,
Usman fan, it gives me anxiety a little bit. Like I'm just imagining what he
mhm.
has to be feeling. Here's the thing, like in the back of your mind, you dominated that whole fight.
Joey, let's talk about it. 24 minutes, okay, and 36 seconds of the fight, Joey.
Yeah, like that has to be in the back of your mind, Paul. Like what, like saying, what can I do? Like you dominate the entire fight, and at the last second you lost, and everything you worked for in your career is just gone.
Wow.
Like,
Yeah.
here's another factor too. They put it in his home country.
Yes. Yes.
Like Edwards is a superstar over there
Mm-hmm.
in the UK. So they put it in his home country. You're coming off your first loss. You're It was just an absolute like there was no doubts about it, KO. An absolute
Oh, I
just
mean, the eyes were in the back of the head,
skull
Joey.
cracking
Yeah,
KO.
the
It's
eyes were in the back of the head from that kick. They definitely were.
On paper you want to say Usman comes in there with a fire that he hasn't had recently because of this loss, and you want to say on paper that Usman should just ragdoll Edwards to an easy victory, but there's a lot of what ifs here. What if Usman isn't able to shake that loss as easy as we're saying he should? Because we don't know. You haven't seen this
Right.
before.
I mean, there is a lot of wild cards, Joe. Let's talk about what you just said. Okay, Usman comes in here. He knows, but the thing is, a lot of people don't understand this, but Usman has never been taken down, Joey. Who was the first person to take him down?
Yeah, no, there was a lot of things that are playing in the back of Usman's mind. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of things that
A lot of people said
he,
Usman would never be taken down. His game is his ground game. Well, you're never going to get him on the ground because he never has been on the ground. He's never had his
yeah,
back against on the ground on the fence. His back has never touched the mat. That plays into your head, Joey. Like if I've never been down and you take me down the first match, the first time in my life, and I
yeah.
lose the fight number one, that's going to play in my head,
But
Joey. That's
but
really going to
let
play in
me
my head.
ask you a question, Paul. Let me throw a question out to you and tell me what you think. If this was a back and forth fight, it was a very close fight, back and forth. These guys were landing haymakers with each other back and forth, and Usman got caught in an exchange and got knocked out. I think that's a little bit easier to shake, because you went out there, you had a war, than the way he lost. Like what I'm trying
Mm,
to say is, if it's
yeah.
a war and these guys are just battling for five
Hmm.
rounds, and Usman gets caught, you lost. The better man won that night, and that was it. But the better man didn't win that night. That's the thing.
Exactly.
Usman dominated that
Exactly.
match.
Yeah.
Usman did everything he did. Like, if I'm
Hmm.
Usman, I'm thinking I just did everything in my power. I kicked this man's ass for 5 rounds. With 30 seconds left in this fight, he caught me and KO'd me. Like, what else do I have to do? Is what I'm thinking.
I like how you said that because okay, let's disregard the fifth round in the first fight, Joey. That's the round that everything happened. The last 20 seconds of the fight, that's when it happened. But as Usman going into that fight, you're going to win the round 9 points. You're going into that fifth round 45 points right away. You won the first 4 rounds, but in the back of your mind, you're thinking that I won that fight. I
Oh,
won
right
that
off the
fight.
bat, that fight, he was up 40. What would it be? 40 34, 40
40, yeah, 40, 40.
34,
Yeah, exactly. Mm.
40 34 right off the bat. Or no, 40 36 right off the bat.
Yeah, your
He was
four
up.
rounds, right? Mm-hmm.
He was up
Sure.
40-36 easily.
Mm-hmm. And
So
but let me ask you this, Joey, real quick. I like what you said there, but let me ask you something. Okay, the first fight, we know that Usman dominated the entire fight until the last 30 seconds of the fight. We know that the kick hurt around the world. We know that. But let me ask you this. I want to put this in your head now. This fight goes the fifth round, Joey. Okay, back and forth. Let's say you had a haymaker back and forth. I win the 2 rounds. You win 2 rounds. It comes down to the fifth round. Does Usman still remember that kick in the last 30 seconds, Joey? Does he try to avoid that and just try to take him
But
down to
here's
the
the
ground
thing, it's
and
like
avoid that kick?
but here's the thing, it's like I feel like it stings a little less and messes with you psychologically a little less. It's like, okay, we had a war. It could have went either way. I went out there and put my heart on my shield,
Hmm.
and I lost because I did what I had to do because I wanted to finish that fight. Usman lost because he got cocky and tried to engage when he should have just stayed back and not engaged with the last 30 seconds when you know you had the fight won and Edwards was looking for a shot. So I just think at that point it's like it's Usman got cocky. There's no way around it. Taunting him in between rounds, getting in his face
Yeah.
before the fight went on. Usman got cocky and lost focus of what the goal was, and
Hmm.
unfortunately it cost him. And I just don't know if that's going to play a factor in his mind while this fight is going on.
Okay,
Just
but
because.
let me ask you real quick, Joey, since you said that. Okay, uh, I'll put this. I'm your trainer, Joey. You're my fighter. I'm in your corner. I'm your coach. Joey, you're up 4 rounds. Let's just coast. Do you blame more of the coach
Well, he should
because
have coasted, but he didn't
well,
coast,
what do
Paul.
you think? What do you think the coach said? Do you think the coach said just go out there, showboat it? Let's go out there, have put on a show. You're up 4 points. You're up 4 points. 40-36 here. You're clean running this show here. You're definitely going to win this fight. There's no way he can beat you. He hasn't touched you really all night. You worked him for 4 rounds. He's not going to touch you. Go out and have fun, champ. Show him why you're the champ. Do you think the coaches said that, or do you think the coaches said, "Hey, man, look, just avoid the guy. Avoid the guy. Anything can happen. We don't know. 5 minutes left. Anything can happen." What do you think, Joey? Now we look back at it now. What do you think Usman went through that
But
head the
the
last 5 minutes?
coaches, I'm trying to find the video of
Was there something out there that gave us a clear evidence of what we're talking about?
I'm trying to find the video of the knockdown because I feel like the knockout um came while Usman was ducking for a takedown.
I don't think it was. I thought he was. I thought he was actually. I don't know because I remember him. It was a clear kick when he. You know what? You're. I don't think it was a takedown, Joey, because when he came in, he looked like he was like this. It didn't look like it was a takedown attempt.
Trying to
I think
find
I
it.
think it's under a kick heard around the world. I remember I seen it on there, Joey. If you can find it out
I
there.
found it.
All right, you gonna put it on the screen?
So I'm not gonna put it on the screen just because I don't want to get flagged.
Yeah, let's not do that because hell, our show's been flagged so many times in the
So
last
he
3
feinted.
weeks.
He feinted, and unfortunately, he feinted right into the leg kick. Um, Again, I think it was stupid knowing this man had to.
So it wasn't a takedown attempt? Was it?
It wasn't. It
Okay,
wasn't.
that's what I thought. I don't think he tried to go takedown. I think when he went, he was like because he was pretty much stand up, like fully upright, wasn't he?
Yeah. I don't. But here's the thing now, Paul.
You know what? You can put it.
Unfortunately,
I don't think we're gonna get flagged.
I'm not risking it.
You don't want to risk it.
No.
All right.
But
Well, you
here's
know
the
what we'll do?
thing.
We'll put a link up. Put the link up, Joey. Put the link up in the comments there for people out there
What
that want to see it.
what happens here if Edward wins? Right. This is the third fight now.
Oh, see, you're thinking. Joe, I'm not even going to go
No,
that
not
far.
Edwards. If Usman wins, I
Oh,
mean,
okay, I'm about to
this is
say
their
I'm not
third.
even going to go that
This
far.
is
I'm
their
not going that
third
far.
fight now, right? If
Yeah.
what happens? Do you do a fourth fight because the champion just lost?
No. Well, Joey, we've talked about this before, man. Listen, if I beat you convincingly, the first fight was. I don't want. I hate saying this word, Joe. I hate saying it because it's like putting players in different sports with an asterisk against their name. Okay, but to me, that was just a fight where you won the fight, but you clearly didn't win the fight. To me, you won. I don't want to say disqualification, but it was like a disqualification. One kick, won it all, lights out. But if Usman comes out and he dominates his fight, do you give it another match, or even if Edwards, if convincingly he comes out and wins this fight, Joey, there can't be a rematch. There can't be. If it's a close fight,
Yeah.
Usman wins, it has to be a rematch because Edwards took him to
Yeah.
another level again. 5 matches in the second fight, and then at the third fight, he took him to another 5 rounds. You have to. But if it goes 1 to 3 rounds, Usman, I don't think you can do it. I don't think so. I wouldn't want to see a fourth fight, Joey. I don't. Do you?
Yeah, I don't. I think if it's the same fight we had the first fight, and Usman finishes it off and doesn't get caught this
Hmm.
time around, I don't see. I don't see how you can do a rematch.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's just put it out there. What if Edwards wins this fight, Joey, in a 5 round slugfest, haymakers, kicks all around, 5 rounds, comes down to the last. Let's say it's a decision, a split
I think
decision where.
the only way you see a fourth for this
Mm,
is if Usman wins a slugfest. So I don't know how you can give Edwards. I don't know how you can give Usman.
and that's going the distance, though, right? You're talking about going the distance, right?
Yeah, going distance a
Okay.
close,
Okay. Okay.
debatable. If Usman wins a close, debatable scorecard,
Hmm.
you would have to do a fourth fight just because Edwards was the champion,
I
and
agree.
it's like, whoa, how do you lose the champion lose like that?
Mhm.
If if Usman, I got to catch up in the picture. Sorry. If 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 Usman loses, regardless of how he loses,
Well, yeah,
you
Joey, what
can't
brand? What brand ketchup is that?
Heinz.
Oh, Heinz, if you're listening out there, Joey has it in his room. He always eats Heinz ketchup. So hit us up. You need a sponsor, Heinz ketchup, brother. Listen.
But if Usman loses, I don't care how he loses. How
Hmm.
do you give someone a third fight in a row, coming off two back to back losses?
I
Same thing
agree.
with Izzy. Same thing with Izzy next pay per view.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
Izzy wins, you gotta run it back.
You have to.
If
What if
Izzy
Pierre wins?
loses,
What if Pierre wins?
you can never do that fight again.
I agree with that one. I agree. I think it's a stipulation of how you win this fight. This fight here is a stipulation of how you win convincingly, one sided versus a all out haymaker 5 round battle. There's a different stipulation in that. Definitely has to be. Has to be.
But
But
yeah, I
let, let's
definitely
let,
agree.
let's talk about the results here, Joey. What do you think? What do you think going into this weekend, which is so hard to believe it's already this weekend? 2 weeks ago we had a pay per view. What do you think is going to happen, Joey? What is Joey looking for this main event?
Usman by TKO.
When we do this a lot on pay per views, Joey. When you're calling TKO, but
Third
where
round.
you go? Third round. Let me look it up real quick, Joey. Okay,
No. Yeah, I'll do third round.
you're going third round. Okay. Wow, third round. I'm kind of on the same boat as you, honestly. I really am. Well, Usman's a 245 favorite, Joey. Edwards is a plus 205, okay? Joey's going to take a KO, method of victory, rounded method of victory. You're going 3 rounds. Oh, I was going to say, holy crap, that was Leon Edwards, okay. All right, Joey, you're going to go third round TKO, right?
Yeah.
You're plus 1,600, which is not bad odds. Not
That's
bad
pretty
odds at
good.
all. I might even lay that. I agree with you. I think it's going to be Usman. It's hard to say, mentally coming back from what we've seen the first fight, dominating a fight for 24 minutes and 30 some odd seconds, one kick heard around the world, just shattered your image 100% of what we've seen. Does he come back from that mentally? How is he going to do it? I've never been taken down in my life. You took me down. You beat me. How's he going to come back? But I think he does come back, Joey. I'm going to give him a third round TKO as well. I'm going to go third round TKO for Usman. I really think that's going to happen.
Yeah,
I
so
feel it. I feel it.
we'll see. I mean, at plus 1,600,
That's what I mean. That's damn good odds, Joe. If you
you
think
drop
about it.
$5 for every round possible for Usman by TKO.
That's what I'm saying. See, you're smart on that one, Joey. I usually do that. Like if I know someone that's going to win TKO, but I don't know when, shit, I'll put $10 on each round. You know what I mean? One of the rounds you're going to hit. You're going to
Yeah.
hit. Oh yeah, I might just do that. I kind of like that one. That's not a bad bet right there. Actually,
Yeah, you're guaranteed $60, right?
that's what I mean. You're
90
guaranteed
bucks.
what? You're getting 16.5. You're like $90. So if you put down 10 bucks on $5 on each round, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose $20. You're still gonna win 90 if it hits right there. But you're guaranteed your odds go down to other rounds. But you're guaranteed at least $30 win profit wise
Yeah.
after you lose your other 4 rounds. So you're guaranteed $30, which is smart betting. But what do you think Edmonds has to do to win this fight, Joey? If it happens, Do you think he tries taking down Usman again? Like
Just
just
keep
going
it
for
on
the
the feet.
attempts?
Just if Edwards can keep it on the feet and kind of stuff the first couple of takedowns Usman shoots for,
Okay.
and kind of keeps Usman like starts doubting himself, second guessing himself, like struggling with the takedowns, and has to kind of he forces him into a stand up fight. I think Edwards can win again if Edwards is able to force Usman to keep it on the feet. I just don't know if he'll be able to do that with a motivated and
But okay,
humble Usman.
let me play a little mind games here. Is there any way that Edwards comes out and tries to take Usman down to get back in his head and say, "I did it once, I can do it anytime I want"?
No, no,
You don't
just
think
for the
so?
simple fact that there's no path for victory with him on the ground.
So you think the one thing was just a mirage of should have never happened, huh?
Well, if you watch that, if you remember that takedown, they were engaged very close to the cage. Um, I believe Usman had underhooks, and
Hmm.
Edwards caught him
Was it a leg sweep, like a little leg
a
sweep around
trip.
the knee? Oh, well, okay,
He
okay,
tripped him. He
okay,
tripped him behind the leg. He tripped him,
okay.
um, and so he caught him off guard.
Right,
It wasn't
right.
like he shot for a takedown and got it. He caught Usman with a trip and took him down. I don't know if he can just shoot for a takedown and take him down.
Okay.
But we'll see. It's going to be interesting just to see. It all depends upon Usman's psychologically.
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
is Usman at in his mind? First huge loss like that on national stage. You're now in this man's hometown. I just think it's really going to depend upon how he comes back as a fighter that dictates how this fight plays out.
I agree. I think it's more mentally, honestly. I mean, he's going to come out the first 2 rounds all balls to the wall. Basically, he's gonna try to end this fight quickly. He really is. And I think if Edwards can keep this, like you said, keep it on the feet for the first 2 rounds, and you know what? Hey, listen, I'm still here, man. I'm still here. And
Yeah,
I think it can go. It can. I don't want to say it can't go the distance. I think it can go the distance, but it has
yeah,
to be an all around smart fight from both fighters, Joey. It has to be both fighters. Their capacity to take it to the fifth round has to depend on strategy, Joey. It really does.
yeah, for
Not
sure.
strength, not strength to me. Both fighters have strength. We know they have strength, but I think it's more of a strategic battle with these two animals. I really
Yeah,
do.
yeah, and I definitely think we know that we know Edwards was already the better of the two on the feet. So
Hmm.
we know for a fact Edwards has been training nonstop
Right.
for takedowns this
Hmm.
entire time. So
Sure. Hmm.
well,
I agree.
definitely interesting to see.
I agree. What's on your shirt, Joey? What's that? Fight Island?
Yeah, remember when they went to the island?
Did you go out there?
No, no, they were selling it on their website. It's like the best hoodie material I've ever felt in my entire life.
Well, see, there you go. That's what we talk about. We buy things from UFC. So listen, if you're out there, UFC, listen, if you're the one flagging us, we love you guys. We love you. We love UFC. Joey buys your stuff. We have a lot of UFC stuff around here. So listen, we don't have any hard feelings with UFC out there. But Joey, is there any boxing that we can talk about for a couple minutes here? Anything going on? I know you mentioned something was earlier in the pre talk here. What was going on with boxing this week? Because I only have one thing to mention coming up. It's not a sanctioned fight, but May 13th, our boy Trayshawn Wiggins will be holding a fight here. Fight Club, not 215, but Fight Club will be here. Trayshawn Wiggins will be fighting that night, and it's going to be at the War Memorial Arena here. I will be there. It's Mother's Day, prior to Mother's Day, day before. I'll go there, watch the entire fight. But in a couple weeks, Joey, before the fight here, a little bit, maybe next month, we're going to have a guy on. Um, his dad was actually, I already told you this, his dad was actually a WBC fighter as well. He wasn't the pure 100% champion, but he was ranked in the top 5 as well,
Mm.
uh, worldwide. And his son is making his pro amateur debut. And we're going to have him on the show. He actually
Wait, pro
trains
or
with,
amateur debut?
this one's going to be a pro debut.
Okay.
His first fight, his son. We're
But
going
you
to have him on
said
the
you
show.
said pro amateur debut. I was like, wait, is he pro or
Oh yeah,
amateur?
he's amateur now. He's got his first fight pro. We're going to have him on the
Okay.
show in a couple of weeks. I'm going to get him on here prior. He trains with Trayshawn, and I tell you, this kid, man, I've watched him, and I'm talking like when you see Trayshawn speed, training with Trayshawn, I've seen him. I've been hit by him before, so I know what his power and his speed is. But this kid right here, I'm not going to even say his name. We'll talk about. I don't want to say a name before we get him on the show. prior, but his speed is insane, insane, so quick. So
Sounds
we'll have
good.
him
No,
on the
yeah.
show.
Anytime we can get
Yep.
anyone that's in the
Mhm.
actual business
Yep.
involved, whoever it
Definitely.
may be.
Hmm.
Is there any word on Trayshawn's next fight yet, or that hasn't been discussed?
No, it hasn't been scheduled yet. I mean, he's still sponsored with Don King Promotions, so he's still negotiating some fights. As we already know, Trayshawn Duck's nobody. We already know that. We've had him on the show before, and I love what he said during his last fight when they said, what's next? He's like, I'll fight anybody. I can't
Yeah,
today. I can't fight him tomorrow, but give me 2 days. I'm ready to go in the ring. Um, he's ready to go, man. He already called out Spence and Spence. He's got Crawford on the mind.
yeah.
He's like ready. I don't care. He ain't ducking anybody. But as soon as we hear about him, he's one of our sponsors. He's a great friend of ours here on the show. He's like family to us. As soon as we hear, we'll have him hop on. But speaking of that, Joey, I know you weren't on the show that night. You had a prior engagement, but Natalie Morgan, the UFC fighter, I don't know if you know this, but 3 weeks ago, she was fighting in the Muay Thai World Championships in New York.
I
She
think you
went
tell me
five.
about that.
She went 5 rounds and lost by one freaking point.
Oh wow.
Yep. So I was talking to her a couple nights ago, and she said, as you guys don't know, I have her poster up there signed and everything. When she was on our show before, she says she'll be hopping on a show because she does a contender series just like the UFC does, and it was released about 3 weeks ago, and she couldn't talk about it, of course, because she would get fined about it. But she says she'll hop on a show to take us through her
So is she
fighting.
on the? Is she on the Contender Series?
She actually won the contender series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a Muay Thai fight. It was actually overseas, wherever it was over there somewhere. She couldn't talk about it. She wouldn't even tell me off air what happened. Nothing at all. She's like, you got to stay tuned. The day it's aired, I can tell you. So I watched it and I knew it, and I said, don't tell me, Natalie. Her name is Killface Morgan. I was like, don't tell me. I want to watch the whole thing. The girl is freaking nasty. She laid in the championship fight. She roundhouse kicked this chick, and the chick was like Kamara Usman on the ground. That's what it looked like. And that's why she got the first bid to fight in New York. But she lost by 1 point in a 5 round match. So we're trying to get her on the show as well. Right now, she's traveling, doing sponsorships and everything, getting ready for her next coming fight. But she has a rematch clause. She's definitely getting a rematch. So we're
Sounds
going to get her
good.
on the show as well. But yeah, I mean, other than that, that's a lot to talk about this weekend. I can't wait till UFC event. In 2 weeks we
Yeah,
had
we
one.
got.
Now we have
I don't
another
want
one.
any of the
Oh,
boxer fans to think that we're not talking about boxing.
mm-hmm.
There hasn't been truly huge boxing events
You're
happen
right.
the past couple of months,
Mm-hmm.
but we do have some big fights coming up. We got the Plant fight coming up. We got
That's the 25th, right?
Haney
Or that's this weekend, yeah.
25th. Then we
25th. Mhm.
got Haney coming up. Haney versus Machenko coming up. We got Tank versus.
I think that's one sided, Joe. I think that fight was one sided. The Haney fight, I really do.
It depends upon what Machenko we see. If it's the one from the
I'm just
first
going past.
Lopez
I'm
fight.
just going a little bit past here. I think he's a little bit my age, not my age, but to where I feel versus a fighter. I think he's a
Yeah, you think
little on
Father
that
Time
side.
finally caught up, which is
Yeah, I
fair
do. I
because
do.
he hasn't been a pro a while, but he definitely had a lot of
Hmm.
amateurs. So
Now,
it's
Joey,
gonna
I
be
want to real quick. Did you hear the rumor? Tyson Fury and Usyk. Did you hear that rumor?
I did. So the ball so Uzlik finally um put the ball in Tyson Fury's court and kind of said,
Okay.
no, don't keep blaming me for why we're not fighting, because Fury said he's the A side, so he wasn't going to agree to a fight unless Uzlik agreed to 70-30 payout. He
Wow.
agreed. He agreed. He
He
agreed.
did. He agreed to it. Okay.
Ball's
Okay.
in his court now. So at this point, if this
Wow.
fight don't happen, it's because of Fury.
Okay. All right. That's a call out right there, saying, "Hey, look, you're the man now. Put the talk to the wall here. Let's go for it
Yeah, I
here."
mean we got some big fights coming up in boxing.
Yeah.
Canelo just announced today. Canelo announced that he's having a fight in Mexico coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Shakur Stevens fighting coming up. We got a Tank versus
Wait,
Garcia.
who's Shakur Stevenson's fighting, Joey?
Um,
Garcia?
I'm not sure if it's Garcia.
I thought it was Garcia.
Garcia and Tank are fighting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Who do you think is winning that fight, Joey? Because I know we're on opposite sides of that one.
I think Tank's winning that fight.
I don't think so. I think Garcia wins this fight.
Well, we'll talk about that. We have plenty of time to talk about that.
We definitely do. Oh man. Hmm.
It's gonna be a fun one.
We have a lot of time to talk about it, and a lot of times to have that fight canceled.
Yeah, that's the scary thing.
It
But I
is.
think this is one of those fights where
I
it can
agree.
really rejuvenize the sport overall. We
Hmm.
haven't had fights recently that would have people who aren't even boxing fans talking. But I think Ryan Garcia and even Tank at this point is a name that casual fans know enough.
Joe, real quick, we're off. Is what? Who is Tank sponsored by? Is it Dazon or Top Rank?
It's I'm not sure, but this fight will be on Daizon. I think
Okay,
Garcia was Daizon.
I thought Garcia was Golden Boy.
He is Golden Boy, but I thought his fights were with Daizon.
Okay, okay, all right, okay. Because I mean, you
Because
got two big promoters here, Joey. This is what can bring
and
the sport
maybe
back.
neither one of them were Daizon. Maybe that's why I have to look into a little more. I
Okay,
don't like
okay,
like to get into the politics of it because there's just too much going
yeah,
on. But
exactly.
maybe neither one of them were Daizon, but because one of them was Golden Boy and one of them was Mayweather, they agreed to Daizon to kind of make it fair
Okay,
across
like
the
a little
board.
split. Yeah, okay, a little split first. Okay, all right.
But yeah, we got
Any
a
word?
lot
Any
of.
word? Any word on the Crawford Spence fight, Joey?
I read the last thing that I read was that
I,
they
I don't even like. I don't
agreed.
even like looking at it. I don't even like looking at it, Joey, because I sometimes I get my hopes up that it's definitely written in stone, and then a day later on Twitter, it's like, we're still working on the ins and out contract here. I don't even look at it anymore until it happens.
Yeah, I've read as of 1 week ago, Spence and Crawford in direct negotiation agree on purse split for make a fight.
Okay, so we're at a purse split right now. Okay, we're at a purse split. All right. Okay. Purse split's not bad. It's not bad. It's stepping stones, Joey. It's stepping stones to what we want to see. What we want to see.
So
So
Spence actually fighting Thurman.
I know I seen that. I seen that. Yeah.
So I
Ah,
mean Thurman ain't no slouch.
no,
So
he's not. He's not. No, he's
let's
not.
see Spence get through this fight first
Yep.
before
Are you? Have you been watching that guy Anawe from Japan, Joey?
not a lot because a lot of times his fights come on at times that are so hard to
I know.
watch.
You know me. I don't sleep, but I watched this last fight, Joey. This guy. I mean, we know Japanese fighters are like warriors, and they go kamikaze in
I know
whatever.
this guy's an absolute animal. I know
This
that.
guy is insane. Like I really want to see him. I wasn't really looking at it, but I think he is fighting a in the contender eliminator series to jump up to the top of the ranks in the WBO WBA rankings because he wants the world title is what he wants. He wants it, and I think he will get it eventually. Inoue, I think it's I can't even pronounce his last name. It's been
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
he's nasty. He's nasty.
And a
I think he froze again, Joe.
yeah, he's a really good fighter and he's been
Yeah,
can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah,
There you go.
he's a
Okay.
really good fighter and he's been the one that's been kind of right there at the cusp of the top pound for pound for a while there. And I think he's last match the highest he was like 4. So I mean that's you think he got
Exactly.
Spence, Canelo, Usyk 1, 2, 3, and then
Hmm.
him 4. That's hell of a company to be in.
That's what I
And
mean.
you haven't even fought some of the best in other
Hmm.
countries. So very interesting to see. But yeah, well, I mean, next week we'll definitely go over our predictions from this fight.
Hmm.
Um, take a breather with the UFC. Talk about the
Yeah,
Platt fight a little bit, Plant fight a little bit.
I know you're looking forward to that fight, aren't you?
I am because his opponent just doesn't shut the hell up.
So there's a little biased out there, huh? Where you want to see this
Yeah,
kid get knocked out.
I would like to see fighters get humbled sometimes.
Okay, all right. Yeah, we'll definitely give a UFC a break because we're gonna, like, it's been UFC. We three pay per views in less than 30 days, so we'll give it a break next week. We'll come back and talk about the Caleb fight. We'll try and touch base, and who knows? Maybe we'll get maybe I can reach out to a good buddy of ours out there, and maybe he'll hop on and give us his instinct, his take on that. Maybe we can get Trey Sean out there and come and
Not good.
talk.
Even if you can't get them on, maybe like a video talking about
Yeah,
breaking down
yeah.
the fight.
Yeah, maybe we'll get him on here and have him a little talk about it real quick and see what he sees in the fight. See his in and outs from a professional fighter. So he's ranked eighth again. So hey, listen, he's moving up the boards, Joey.
Yeah,
Definitely, man. It's great to have a fighter in our corner. We have his back, he has ours. So awesome
for
guy,
sure,
awesome
for
guy.
sure.
Yeah. So Joey, I know we talked about Disney real quick, but give me a final word on Disney because I'm so used to talking about Disney at the very end because I just love Disney, man. It's snowing out here. I got 8 inches of snow out here.
Yeah, we got a little bit of snow. It doesn't stick.
Good. I'm coming to Philly tomorrow, so
So go to Disney if you don't want snow.
exactly. So how can we get there, though, Joey?
Yeah, for sure. So that picture that Paul puts up, the Joseph Wood Mr. House of Travel, that's my Facebook page. You just search that on Facebook, you can find me. My phone number there. Give me a text if you want to think about going to Disney. Get you a quote and
Mhm.
go from there.
Man, I tell you, it's so beautiful looking at your family there, Joey. I mean, you got your wife there, your daughter Paisley, your little son Joey. Man, I can just imagine, going down to Disney and their faces light up when they see. I see all the pictures you guys post, and my God, man, it's like if I have
Yeah.
kids
So
another
last
age,
year, that picture is actually from last year,
it
Paul.
is, yeah. Mhm.
So last year, she's a little too young to understand stuff. So this year, we're talking about it. So we went 2 weeks ago, and we get in the Magic Kingdom. We turn that corner, and she sees the castle for the first time, and
Oh
she
wow.
she turns, looks at my grandma, and says, "Oh, we finally home."
No, really? It's like after you win the
So
Super Bowl, Joey. Where you going? I'm going to Disney World.
yeah, yeah.
Like,
She's like, "We're
oh
finally
wow,
home."
wow. Joey, I know at the very end, it's been so long since I've been there because my kids are 28 and freaking I'm a grandfather now. Thank you, Trey. My son, my grandson Kai out there. Love you, kid. Um, but it's been years since I've been to Disney. We used to go every year, my ex-wife and I and the family. But Joey, I always wanted to have one question for you. I know you're a rep down there now. At the end of the night, when they do the fireworks, okay, and I always see what's the little princess, what's that little thing that
Tinkerbell.
flies? Does she still fly all across the
Yeah,
thing? Does she really?
yeah.
That amazed me like that. I was like, what the hell? I couldn't see it. I'm like, what the hell? She's flying. Like, do they still do
And
that,
you
huh?
ever hear that? You ever see that movie Big Hero 6?
I've never seen that.
It's a
Never seen it.
Disney movie, and it's got like a robot in it that's like it can fly and stuff. In California, he actually flies around the castle.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So, Joey, Space Mountain, I mean, not Space Mountain, but Splash Mountain, is that gone?
So Splash Mountain, the ride is still there.
Mm.
It's closed right now for a retheming. The ride
Okay.
itself will still be there.
Okay.
Just the theme of what it is inside will be
Gotcha.
changing. So it was based on a movie called Song of the South,
Gotcha.
but
Okay.
unfortunately had ties to slavery and
Right.
stuff
Right.
like
What you
that.
mentioned. Okay.
So Disney wanted to get away from that.
Gotcha. Okay.
So they're now changing it into, for anyone that saw Princess and the Frog, they're changing it into a ride about Princess and the Frog, but it'll still have the
Mhm.
same drops and everything like that. Still have
Okay.
the same logs and stuff like that. It's just a matter of they're retheming it to Princess and the Frog.
Joey, real quick, when was the last time Mr. Disney, Walt Disney, actually passed away? What year was that? Do you remember?
Oh, he actually never even saw the completion. I don't believe.
Because that was,
Um,
this is the last time I was in Disney. Look how small Trey is.
that's crazy. Yeah,
That's the
I think
last time I was
Walt.
Disney.
So, um, I'm looking up actually. 'Cause I believe so. This is Disney's 50th year.
Okay.
Um, he died in '66.
Okay. No, yeah, this is a cardboard cutout, so I ain't that damn old, guys. Just letting everybody know. Yeah. I ain't that damn old. I was just
And
going through some of the pictures and I seen that. I was like, wow, that's insane.
the sad thing is that Magic Kingdom didn't open until '71, so he never got to see his 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 dream of opening a park in Florida come to fruition.
That is insane. Holy crap. That's something.
Yeah, I mean, if you ever have time, Paul, like they do a
Mhm.
VIP tour, and the stories they tell you, about like how he went about getting these land and stuff like that. You think Disney World was Disneyland was fairly known before he opened Disney World. So if he would have went into Florida under Walt Disney and try to buy land to make Disney World, they were gonna skyrocket his price.
Okay.
So
Okay.
him and his brother made a fake company called Empty Lot. MT Lot. So it's
Empty lot.
MT Lot. And when you
Huh.
say it real fast, it says Empty Lot.
Empty. Yeah.
So they made that company, and would buy land under that company's name so no one knew it was Walt. Because if
Wow.
not, they would have jacked up his price. So
Wow.
just it's just pretty cool, like the backstory you hear about that and stuff.
Okay. Because I know, Joey, when I speak of Disney here, the family that I think about is your family, of course. You guys are, I think your mom was just down there, wasn't she?
Yeah, so they actually had a funny
Cheerleading,
story.
yeah.
They were at a cheerleading competition for like national champs, and
Hmm.
give credit to PA Legacy.
Yes. Hmm.
They didn't get the number one, but two of their teams finished second. One of their teams finished third. And we're talking about you have to compete to get to that point, and then get to
Hmm.
that point and beat 10 other teams. So to finish second and third is very, very
Hmm.
respectable, you know. So props to them. But they were supposed to fly home Monday night.
I heard about this. Your mom didn't fly out to midnight.
So they were supposed to leave at 8 o'clock at night on Monday night. Unfortunately, their flight got pushed all the way back to 12 o'clock, and there
Hmm.
was rumor that it was going to get canceled altogether. So 6:30 or 7 o'clock yesterday, they rented a car and they drove home.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So
Oh, man. God, that's crazy. But,
that's
Joey, real
why
quick, you got
that's
a
why
couple
you
minutes. I
use
want to
a
ask you one thing. I want to
that's
ask you
why you
something
use
about
a
your.
travel agent, Paul. That's why you use a travel agent, because if something like that
Exactly. That's what I
happens,
mean.
you can reach out to me and I can help ease all the pain.
That's like me. Hey, Joey, listen, man, what do I do now, brother? You hooked me up. What do I do now? You got to help me out here, you know? But, Joey, you got 2 minutes. I want to ask you something real quick.
Sure.
Okay, it's about Disney. What is your favorite ride in Disney, and what is your favorite place to stay? Third question is, I love my favorite is Epcot because I love the food, and I'm too broke to travel to all these different
Yeah.
countries, and I can just walk around the lake there and go to every country, of course. That's my favorite is Epcot. What is your favorite, and when are they ever going to build some new land, Joey?
So first question you said was my favorite ride.
Yes,
Um,
I'll give you mine. Tower of
okay.
Terror. I love that.
Okay, so that's Joe's favorite ride, is Tower of
Hmm.
Terror.
Isn't it true that it's never the same?
It's never the same drops.
That's
You
what
don't
I
know
thought.
how many
Okay,
drops you'll get
that's
on
what
the
I thought.
ride.
Yeah, that's what I
It's
thought.
never the same drops. My favorite ride is hard. There's so many good ones. If I had to go at one, I'll probably say the new Star Wars ride they built a couple years ago. It's called Rise of the Resistance.
Okay.
Um, so here's the premise of the ride. You're part of the Resistance, so you're part of the good guys, and you're trying to defeat Kylo Ren and his army. You get captured and brought prisoner onto his ship. So the ride starts and you're on the resistance ship. Halfway
Mhm.
through the ride, you get caught. Your ship gets caught and brought on the Kylo Ren ship. So you have to, in the middle of the ride, get off of your ship, get on the Kylo Ren ship.
Really?
Once you're on Kylo Ren's ship, all the workers on the ride don't break character. They treat you like prisoners in the ride queue. So you're going through the ride queue, then they put you in a jail, right? And you're in jail. Kylo Ren comes into your cell and says, "Tell me where the resistance is hiding," right? You don't say anything and stuff like that.
So this
Then
is like
out
a
of
role. This is like a role play ride.
It's like a role play ride. Then out of nowhere, a lightsaber comes through the wall and cuts a hole out of the wall. And it's the resistance. They've rescued you from this ship. And they say, "We found the route to get you off this ship. Jump on this boat and we'll get you off the ship." So the whole ride is you going through Kylo Ren's ship, trying to escape the ship.
How
While
long is this total ride?
it's like a 23-minute ride.
Holy crap!
Yeah, it's an impressive ride. It's really an incredible ride. So that's
Yeah,
probably my
the
favorite
last thing
ride.
I rode was a Star Wars ride. I think it was wherever it was. It was just
Star
a.
Tours?
Yeah, I think it was like where you just sit in a box and it's like simulated where the whole
Yeah,
thing moves
yeah.
like that. Well, that got me. I love
So
rides
you
like
know
that.
the Barstool guys, Barstool
Yeah.
Sports.
Hmm.
So the head guy, Dave Portnoy, he loves Star Wars, right? So he went
Hmm.
to Disney last year. He didn't know that there was a whole Star Wars land. So he rode the Star Wars ride you're talking about,
Hmm.
thinking that that was the ride I was talking about.
Hmm.
Got off the ride and said it was the best ride he ever rode and left the park.
Oh
Didn't know
wow.
that 2 feet, 20 feet over there was a whole Star Wars land.
Yeah.
So he went back last week and he saw the whole world and he was like, "I can't believe I missed this last year." And it was the funniest video ever. But
Holy crap.
getting back to your question,
Hmm.
um, I mean, all of Disney's hotels are are very nice. Um, with the
Now you
amount of
said
time,
Animal Kingdom, right?
so for this last trip, Disney put me in Animal Kingdom.
Did you see
Um,
any giraffe? Did you see any animals?
oh, you see all animals right out your back door. I mean, I looked out my window and there were zebras walking around.
Okay, okay.
Like it was very cool. But for my family, for the amount of times we go to Disney a year, for the amount of time that we're in the parks and in the hotel, we
Yes,
do the cheapest hotel. We do All Star. You know,
that's what we do. Yeah.
we figure why spend more money in the hotel when you're never in the hotel? You know,
Mm-hmm.
you're constantly in the park. Like we're a park open, the park closed type of family.
Mm-hmm.
So
So we
why
are.
spend the extra $200 a night
Mm-hmm.
to stay at a nice hotel when you can save that money and spend it on the parks?
Okay.
Um, but recently, last year, last March when we went when it was the cheerleading competition, and we had All Star Sports. Well, All Star Sports is where they house a lot of the cheer teams, and they overbooked All Star Sports. So they gave my family a free complimentary upgrade to another hotel. They put us at a hotel called Coronado Springs, which is like
That's like the beach
Mexican.
resort, isn't it?
No, it's Mexican
Okay.
theme. So it's like the
Okay.
pool has the giant Mayan
Oh wow. Okay.
pyramids and stuff like that. Um, that is now my new favorite hotel. It was
Coronado
incredible.
Beach. Okay. Okay.
Coronado Springs.
Oh,
You're
Coronado.
thinking of Caribbean Beach, Paul. That's the one that has
That's where we
like
stayed.
Jamaica and
The
stuff like
last
that.
time Marielle and I went, we stayed the one you're talking about, the Caribbean thing, and then for our anniversary, because our anniversary is January 1st, my ex-wife and I, and we went down there and we stayed at the Polynesian one time.
Polynesian is beautiful.
It is, yeah. I'm still paying for that one as well. I still get the bills for that one every month. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Polynesian is definitely the Polynesian was actually one of the first hotels
Hmm.
ever opened at Disney. It was like one of the original.
Yes.
So funny fact about Polynesian is Polynesian's resort rooms
Hmm.
are a little bit bigger than any other
Hmm.
hotel rooms for a simple fact that when it was first built, they had so much land
Right.
that
Right.
they could afford to give them extra space because they had so much land, and they didn't realize how big Disney would actually become.
Hmm.
So they gave them bigger rooms because of that. But
Gotcha.
getting back to favorite park for me, I agree with you that it's Epcot. Um,
Why? Why? Because the food?
Not even the food, because of the world. Like I love the world. I love the
Yeah.
different countries. Um, I also they actually done a lot of upgrades recently.
Okay.
Like for my kids' sake, it's one of the better parks now. My daughter loves Frozen. They've recently put a Frozen ride in
Oh wow.
Sweden, I believe. In
The
the
last time I was there, Joey, Test Track just came out.
oh, that's been a while.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
mean. Yeah.
So they put a Frozen ride in. They put a in France. They put a brand new Ratatouille ride where you shrink down to the size of a rat, and you it's like you're and you go through like kitchens and stuff in France. It's a really cool ride. They recently put in a brand new roller coaster. I'm not sure if you remember the Ellen DeGeneres ride
No, no,
where you go on the ride with Ellen and Bill Nye the Science Guy.
no.
Well,
Holy
they took that
crap.
ride out and they put a Guardian of the Galaxy roller coaster in.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay.
They're building as we speak Moana play area with like
Right.
water and stuff, like a water play area. So it's
Okay.
a lot more features are coming there now. It's not just the worlds anymore.
Okay.
It's a lot more. So definitely a great park
I'll tell
now.
you, Joey, one of my favorite rides that I think I enjoyed more than I love Tower of Terror. There. That was like you know me, Joe. I'm a Six Flags guy. Every year, you as well. Hell, there's backstories we can tell you and I, my family and your family, going to Six Flags, going down to Washington, going down to those.
Yeah,
We can tell stories about that for hours and hours.
yeah.
But oh man, so many stories there. Oh god. But one of the things that I loved about Disney, Joey, was A Bug's Life.
Oh, I
Going
hate
into
that.
that, I love that because I remember I screamed because I that gas that comes out when it smells like a fart,
Yeah, I hate that
and
ride.
then I got sprinkled because it was like he sneezed and the water like hit you. That like freaked me out so bad. I'm thinking like as an adult, I'm like that was so cool. Like the
Yeah, that was
animation things, that was so
I hate.
cool.
So here's why I hate it because I did that as a little kid, probably like 7 years old, not knowing what to expect. So it's traumatized me ever since.
Oh my god, Joey, real quick, I just want to ask you something. Were you guys with us the first day King Kai opened at Six Flags? That wasn't you guys, was it?
I don't remember.
We were there. I thought it was you guys. I thought it was me, you, our family, your family, and then like another family went. We were there at King Kai the day they opened because Mary Ellen didn't ride. Your mom never rode them. I think it was you guys because Mackenzie was too small, Chris was too small, or Sean was too small. I think it was me, you, Chris, and Shane got on King Ka, went up the damn thing the day it opened. We were like 100 in line, waited 4 fucking hours in line. Joey got up there and went
Yeah,
on the ride,
I think
and
I
it
remember
went up
that,
and
Paul.
it went up and it
I
came
don't think
back
I
down,
drove.
Joey.
So
It
I
went
don't
up and it
ride
came
roller
back down.
coasters. I don't ride roller coasters like that.
Okay,
But I think I remember that. I think I remember being there, and me and like Mary Ellen and my parents and stuff were
used to hold the
saying,
bags. Used to hold the
yeah, and
bag.
I think they were saying how crazy you guys were for waiting
No,
all
I
those
remember. I
hours
think
in
it
line.
was because I think everybody was pissed off, especially my ex-wife, because she's like, "You made us wait 4 hours in line.
Yeah,
We
I think
lost
it was
half a day in
that.
the park." Yeah, because we went up the thing and it came down, and they had to bring us back down, and we had to go again. And I remember
Anyway, I
that we
think we
waited
did
4
our
hours.
own thing, and you guys
Yeah.
went in
Okay.
line.
All
And
right.
I think then she was bitching about how long it was taking.
So who was it then? It had to be Chris that wrote it with us then, I think. Because I remember somebody from your family wrote it with us.
Or my
Because it was
dad, 'cause
me,
my
Shane.
dad liked roller coasters.
It might have been your dad. I think it was because it was me, Shane, and I think, yeah, it might have been because I remember it was 4 hours in line. Yeah. Oh my God, dude. There's so many stories we can tell. But Joey, man, listen, anything else you want to talk about real quick before we get the hell out of here?
Nah, and check us out. All of our shows out. You know, we have that new show on Monday night now.
Yes,
Um,
yes. Mhm.
we're always tinkering and trying to get some new shows. With this football season kind of ending and stuff, we have room for more shows.
Yep.
We still want to do our debate show. It's just, we try to
Mhm.
build and,
Yep.
it sometimes kind of gets pushed to the back burner. Life unfortunately happens, a lot of
Yep.
lot of stuff behind the scenes, but
Mhm.
any ideas, anything people want to see for show based, just drop a comment on our Facebook page, YouTube, Twitch,
Definitely.
Twitter page, and um,
And
definitely get
Joey,
some.
guess what? We're even on Instagram and TikTok now, man.
Yeah, yeah. So check all of us out.
So check it out. So that's why we always say hit that follow button on Facebook, hit that notify button, hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channels, Twitch, because you never know when we go live. Like tonight, we went with the college football show. It's usually on Wednesday nights. We hit it tonight, so make sure you hit that follow button, that subscribe button, because you never know here at Out of the Box. We are outside the box. We'll show you something that's unpredictable. We're different from everybody else. We have fun. Family first here is what it's about. The viewers like you keep us going. So if there's any idea that you want to talk about out there, we have a gaming show now every Monday night. Joystick Junkies debuted last night. Great show. And Joey, I don't know if I told you this, but funny story is a guy that I went to high school with, John Schwab. He's a famous actor now. He's in Jack Ryan's miniseries. He was in Queen's Gambit. And the funny thing is, Dan, one of the hosts last night that was on the show, he had a family emergency, so he couldn't be on. I filled in last night. We were talking about video games. He is the voice for over 40 video games that are currently out.
Oh wow.
So he's gonna. I reached out to him. I put in the group chat. You see the text message I put
Yeah,
in the
I
group
seen
chat.
that.
He's actually going to be hopping on one of the shows on the gaming show to actually talk about what it's like to be a voice on a video game. Like, I can't believe there was a game that I forgot what the name was. Dan was saying I played that game. And I was like, that's actually him, a high school friend that I went to school with.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's his voice is on there. So yeah, we'll have him on there. You know, we have Trayshawn Wiggins, a national boxer on here, eighth ranked boxer. If you're out there, you want to join the show, let us know. If you want to host your own show out there, we're always open, man. You know, here out of the box, if we can fit you in, we'll
Yeah,
get you on. So make sure you hit us out there, subscribe, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We're out there everywhere. So as for myself, of course, it's beautiful Tuesday night here in the snowy weather of 8-inch snow here, and Joey down there with no snow sticking on the ground. So for myself, Paul Spencer, and of course the hitman Joey Wood, we'll see you next week, Tuesday, 10 o'clock, and we'll be talking all out boxing next week. So until then, have a great night and be safe.
yeah, for sure.